So that was core, obviously single fabric across all workloads. And we talk about elevating core, HCI, into a true private cloud experience. And one of the parallels that we tend to draw inside engineering is the fact that, okay, if you're in the Bay Area these days, everything's about autonomous driving and all that good stuff. And there's a good parallel, actually, that applies to data centers as it applies to the emerging, if I can call it evolution from automated driving to autonomous driving. And if you think about a Tesla, it's probably in what they call level 2, going to level 3, even though Elon shows demos of level 6, which doesn't exist on the slide yet. But primarily, it's about using intelligence. Initially, it's about automation, some sensors, self-parking. Eventually, though, they want to bring enough intelligence into the car so that when you go home, park the car in the garage, have dinner with the family, the car is able to register itself on Uber, drive itself out, make some money for you, and park itself back, right? I didn't make that up, by the way. That's part of the vision. And so I don't know if data centers would do that for you, but there is a level of synergy there where we were in relatively low automation in three-tier land. We've come a long way, right, in the last generation, I would say, of technologies. And we are somewhere in level 3 here with cloud data centers, reasonable automation. And part of our inspiration and ambition is to actually push the bar to get to a next level of intelligence. And that's really why, if you look at our product strategy around Prism Pro, Calm, and Flow in particular, is that as you move up the levels to go to autonomic driving, autonomic data centers, you have to prioritize safety. You have to prioritize safety, right? More so than intelligence. And so that's why we're doubling down on security this year, as you will see with Flow, but we've also gotten an all-new product where Beam, which hopefully you guys have gotten a version of the cloud usage report. The guys actually came here at 5:30 a.m., woke everybody up, placed those things on your seats there. Some really good work by Beam on multi-cloud usage. Now we're bringing that power of compliance to on-prem for our Nutanix environment. And to talk about the full power of, if I can call it this, autonomous data centers, let's invite our other favorite presenter, Rajiv, on stage. Okay? Rajiv, coming up.
The other thing that we have shown many times at .next conferences before is Prism Pro, and specifically our CrossFit algorithm, our machine learning algorithm, that we have used in the past to power a whole bunch of different capabilities, things like capacity planning, what-if modeling, dynamic alerts. But we have done this at the infrastructure level. One thing that we decided to do was that if you really want a self-driving data center, if you really want sensors to reach across the entire stack, you have application-level sensors too, right? So what we've done is we have taken our CrossFit algorithm, opened it up via APIs to third-party vendors to integrate into it, so we can now consume application-level.
So basically, we're going beyond infrastructure visibility to now bringing application visibility in a fused way with Prism Pro. And this is leveraging a bunch of partner technologies, including Blue Medora,
including Blue
bring
Medora, right?
a whole bunch of these prepackaged application sensors into the Prism Pro umbrella.
Right. And since I'm an XRE now, I need to go check PagerDuty every now and then. And as you can see, I've already gotten a PagerDuty alert saying that one of our databases, the query, the amount of time SQL queries are taking, has shot up. And I can click into that, view it in Prism. And while Prism loads, because this is all integrated with Blue Medora, we actually already have a whole bunch of sources available for these application-level metrics. We have VDI desktops, we have SQL databases, NoSQL databases, even cloud platforms. So we're spanning a fairly large set of applications right off the bat. If I go and look at the SQL query over here, hang on, just a second, let me reload that.
And this would be about looking at, say, a database latency in this particular case, right?
That's right. So in this particular case, it's a production database that's showing higher latencies. Okay, just a second over here.
So this is what happens when you make jokes about me, man.
There you go.
Demos
Give
don't
me a
work.
second.
OK, it works. All right.
All right. So as you can see, we did see a spike in latency earlier today. I can go look at details. And what CrossFit now does is shows me the latency, but also shows me other anomalous events that were happening at around the same time. At higher disk byte usage, at lower cache hit ratio, and CPU usage also spiked. Now, we're talking about latencies going high. That's probably related to the cache hit ratio going down at that point. So why would this happen? I can look at what was happening on the system at that point. I can look at what kind of queries were running. The number of queries, the number of connections, it's been up and down, but nothing significant over here. I can see what kind of queries were running. And here there's something interesting. I have a transaction report. CrossFit has detected it's a new kind of query. We haven't seen it before. And it takes about 200 milliseconds to run, which is why our latencies may have shot up, because the cache, that's flushing out the cache. So what do? We want to continue running this query in the future. So the easiest thing to do at this point would be to increase the size of the database instance. And we can do that using our playbooks. So this is a new capability we've added to Prism Pro called XPlay or Crossplay. And it lets you create custom playbooks that can be run either in response to events, automatically when an alert happens, or manually.
So basically like IFTTT, but for the enterprise. Right?
Exactly. IFTTT for the enterprise sums it up perfectly. I just happen to have a playbook that will increase the size of the database instance and then Slack me when it succeeds. So let me go ahead and run that. And looks like it's been successful. So if I switch over to Slack, yeah, you can see I got the notification on Slack that the playbook was successfully.
All right, good stuff, Rajiv.
Thanks, man.
Thank you again.